Your handbag speaks before you do. It might sound dramatic, but it's true. Before anyone notices your smile, your outfit, or even the way you carry yourself, their eyes often land on one thing, your handbag, and that single detail can either elevate your entire look or quietly sabotage it. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I attended a small dinner gathering. A woman walked in. She was in her late 50s, dressed beautifully in a tailored navy dress, her silver hair styled elegantly, her jewelry understated but perfect. For a moment, she was the picture of timeless grace. But then my eyes, and the eyes of everyone around her, drifted downward to a handbag that was loud, cheaply made, and peeling at the edges. In that instant, the sophistication she worked so hard to present was overshadowed by one accessory. And the truth is, I've seen this happen far too often. That's why today's video is so important. I'm going to share 12 types of handbags that elegant women over 50 should avoid at all costs. Not because elegance requires a designer logo or a $5,000 price tag. It doesn't. True style has nothing to do with flashing labels. Instead, this is about awareness. It's about understanding how the details you carry tell your story long before you say a word. And here's the best part. Once you know what to stay away from, you'll also learn what to look for instead. Because this isn't just a list of fashion don'ts. It's a set of lessons about refinement, confidence, and the kind of quiet sophistication that never goes out of style. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only recognize the handbags that may be holding you back, you'll also be ready to step into every room with a presence that says, without words, I know exactly who I am. Number 1. Fake designer bags. One of the fastest ways to lose elegance is by carrying a fake designer handbag. It doesn't matter how perfect your outfit is, how polished your hair looks, or how confident your walk may be. When you set down a bag with a counterfeit logo, the illusion of sophistication shatters instantly. Many women believe that no one will notice, but the truth is most people can tell. In fact, a 2018 study on consumer perception found that over 70% of women could identify a fake luxury item simply by the stitching, weight, or hardware alone. The smallest details expose the truth. Uneven seams, flimsy zippers, logos just slightly off-center. These betray the very elegance you worked so hard to create. And even if someone doesn't consciously identify it, the overall impression is one of pretense, not polish. Let's be honest, the temptation is real. Who hasn't passed by a street vendor or clicked through an online boutique and thought, this looks just like the real thing, why not? I understand that moment of weakness because it speaks to something deeper than saving money. It speaks to the desire to belong, to project success, to carry a piece of status that feels just out of reach. But pause and ask yourself, do you want your bag to say, I am trying to be someone else? Or do you want it to declare, I am confident in who I am? True elegance has never been about imitation. It has always been about authenticity, about choosing items that reflect your real self rather than a borrowed identity. I remember meeting a woman named Clara at a charity brunch. She was radiant, 61 years old, her skin glowing, her dress tailored to perfection. She carried herself with the kind of natural grace that only comes with experience. But then, at the table, she rested her bag beside her chair. The logo looked suspicious, and within minutes I overheard two women whispering, "It's not real." In that instant, all the admiration Clara had earned for her poise and beauty shifted into doubt. She didn't hear them, but I did, and my heart sank because I knew that bag told a story she didn't intend. The sad truth is, people often remember the flaw louder than the perfection. The solution is refreshingly simple. You don't need a logo at all. In fact, some of the most stylish women in history, think of Audrey Hepburn or Jackie Kennedy, were rarely seen with flashy designer names stamped across their accessories. What they carried were bags that spoke softly of quality: clean leather, sturdy handles, thoughtful structure. Even today, there are countless brands that offer beautifully made, unbranded handbags in soft leather or high-quality vegan materials at a fraction of luxury prices. These are the bags that whisper refinement rather than shout imitation. They send the message that you value craftsmanship over status symbols, that your confidence doesn't need validation from a counterfeit emblem. So the next time you're tempted by that too-good-to-be-true dupe, ask yourself, would I rather carry something fake that pretends or something real that reflects me? Would I rather risk someone questioning my authenticity or know without a doubt that my bag reinforces it? Because elegance isn't about copying, it's about curating. Choosing honesty over imitation is the foundation of timeless style. And once we understand that authenticity is the cornerstone, it becomes easier to see why oversized, shouting logos are the next pitfall every elegant woman should avoid. Number 2, oversized logos. Another common misstep is carrying a handbag with an oversized logo plastered across its surface. For many women, this feels like a badge of success, a visible signal that they've made it. But in reality, giant branding rarely adds to your elegance, it takes away from it. Research from the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that people often associate loud, conspicuous branding with insecurity rather than confidence. In fact, nearly 65% of respondents said they perceived subtle, unbranded luxury goods as more sophisticated than those covered in logos. Isn't that fascinating? It tells us something powerful. Elegance whispers, it never shouts. Think about the impact of a handbag that screams its brand name before you even enter the room. Does it highlight your style, your face, your personality, or does it simply become the star of the show? Too often, it dominates the entire look, and people remember the label rather than the woman. And that's the opposite of what refined style is meant to achieve. Elegance is about balance, proportion, and intention. A handbag overloaded with logos can make even the most polished outfit feel like it's trying too hard. Ask yourself this: do you want people to remember your poise and confidence, or the letters stamped across your purse? The solution lies in choosing handbags that focus on design rather than branding. Clean lines, structured shapes, quality materials, these are the true markers of refinement. Subtle details, like a discreet clasp or a hint of texture, elevate a bag without turning it into a billboard. Interestingly, some of the most timeless pieces in fashion history were nearly free of logos altogether. They stood the test of time not because of a name, but because of their understated elegance. So, if you're holding onto a bag where the logo is the loudest thing in your outfit, consider trading it for something quieter, something that lets you be the center of attention. Because when you walk into a room with confidence, intelligence, and grace, no logo could ever add more than what you already bring. And once you understand how proportion matters just as much as branding, it becomes clear why carrying a handbag that's too big or too small for your frame can quietly work against your elegance. Number 3, proportion. One of the most overlooked aspects of choosing a handbag is proportion. Even the most beautifully made bag can throw off your entire look if it's the wrong size for your body. Oversized bags may feel practical, and tiny ones may seem cute, but both extremes can quietly diminish the elegance you've worked to achieve. A 2021 consumer fashion survey found that 58% of women over 50 reported carrying handbags that were either too large or too small for their daily needs, often without realizing how it impacted their overall appearance. Proportion matters just as much as color or material because it frames your silhouette and influences how others perceive your presence. Let's start with oversized bags. They can be convenient, yes. You can fit your lunch, your makeup bag, even a spare pair of shoes. But have you ever noticed how they overwhelm your frame? For petite women, an oversized tote can almost look like luggage. Instead of drawing attention to your posture, your outfit, or your expression, the first thing people see is the massive bag. And let's not forget the chaos inside. How many times have you dug endlessly for your keys or phone, feeling disorganized and flustered? Is that the impression you want to project, frazzled rather than refined? On the other end of the spectrum, tiny handbags are just as problematic. They may look adorable on a runway model or at a cocktail party, but in daily life they lack both function and elegance. There's nothing sophisticated about fumbling because your phone barely fits or your wallet sticks out of the zipper. A study on accessories and consumer behavior in fashion theory noted that functionality is often interpreted as confidence. When a bag is too small to serve its purpose, it creates subtle tension. And elegance, by definition, should feel effortless, never strained. I recall meeting Julia, a vibrant woman of 58, at a book club. She is petite with a graceful posture that could rival a dancer's, but her handbag was so large it seemed to pull her body forward. Watching her, I couldn't help but think, that bag is carrying her, not the other way around. Contrast that with another evening when she arrived carrying a structured, medium-sized satchel. Suddenly, everything aligned. Her silhouette looked balanced, her presence polished, and the compliments flowed all night. One simple change made her entire aura shift. So how do you find the sweet spot? Look for a medium-sized bag that complements your frame. It should be large enough to hold your essentials, a phone, wallet, perhaps a small notebook, but never so big that it overwhelms your shape, nor so small that it sacrifices function. Think of it this way: does your handbag support your lifestyle while also enhancing your natural lines? Does it frame you rather than fight you? If the answer is no, it may be time to reconsider. When your bag is the right size, your outfit suddenly feels more intentional. Your posture looks taller, your movement seems smoother, and your style feels aligned from head to toe. Elegance isn't just about what you wear. It's about how all the elements come together in harmony. And speaking of harmony, even the best proportioned handbag can't rescue your look if it's visibly damaged or falling apart. That brings us to the next mistake: carrying worn, frayed, or broken bags that undermine the very sophistication you want to project. Number 4. Damaged or worn bags. Elegance is built on details, and nothing undermines those details faster than a handbag that is visibly damaged. A cracked handle, fraying corners, a zipper that won't close, or stains on the lining. These are small signals that speak louder than you realize. You may think no one notices, but research from the Fashion Retail Academy in London found that 64% of first impressions are influenced by accessories, not just clothing. When your bag looks neglected, it doesn't matter how beautiful your dress or how polished your hair. What people register is a lack of care. And elegance, at its core, is about intentional care. We all have that one bag we've loved for years. It carried us through jobs, trips, even life transitions. It feels comfortable, familiar, almost like an old friend. But ask yourself this: would you wear a dress with a torn hem to a dinner party? Would you go to a business meeting with scuffed shoes and chipped nails? If the answer is no, then why allow a tired, broken handbag to tell a different story? A worn-out bag doesn't reflect loyalty, it reflects neglect. And that is the opposite of the grace and refinement you deserve. The solution doesn't always mean throwing away what you love. Some pieces can be restored. Leather conditioners, professional cleaning. Even a new zipper or lining can breathe life back into a cherished handbag. Think of it as honoring your investment and respecting your image. But when repair is no longer possible, it's time to let go. Thank that bag for serving you well and replace it with one that supports the elegant woman you are today. Practicality also matters here. Studies on consumer behavior have shown that people subconsciously equate well-maintained accessories with competence and self-respect. Isn't that fascinating? The way you care for your handbag influences how others interpret your character. Choosing a bag in good condition, even if it's simple, even if it's affordable, shows the world you value yourself enough not to accept good enough. So take a moment to review your collection. Are you holding onto pieces that drag down your appearance instead of elevating it? Are you keeping bags that belong to your past but not your present? It may be time for a reset. Because no accessory should speak louder than your confidence. And as we'll see in the next section, even a bag in perfect condition can sabotage your elegance if it's drowning in unnecessary decorations and embellishments. Number 5. Overly decorated bags. When it comes to handbags, less is almost always more. Overly decorated bags, those covered in charms, tassels, chains, sequins, or dangling key rings, might feel playful at first, but they rarely read as elegant. Instead, they create visual noise that distracts from your natural beauty. A 2020 survey by the Accessories Council showed that 72% of women over 50 preferred clean, minimalist handbag designs because they felt timeless and age-appropriate, while heavily decorated bags were more often described as dated or fussy. Isn't that telling? Elegance doesn't beg for attention, it earns it quietly. Think about it. When your bag sparkles louder than your smile or jingles with every step, what do people notice first? Do they see you, or do they see the clutter hanging off your arm? Over-decoration has the power to reduce a refined outfit into something costume-like, where the accessory becomes the show and the woman herself fades into the background. That is not the story you want your handbag to tell. The answer isn't to eliminate personality from your accessories, but to express it with intention. Instead of glitter or pom-poms, look for subtle details that add sophistication rather than chaos. A soft metallic clasp, a textured stitch, or a single polished buckle can speak volumes without overwhelming. In fact, some of the most iconic handbags in history, the kinds carried by royals, actresses, and fashion icons, were celebrated for their restraint. They became timeless not because they shouted, but because they whispered. So ask yourself, does my handbag enhance my presence, or does it compete with me for attention? Does it add polish, or does it feel like clutter? The truth is, your handbag should never be louder than your voice or brighter than your confidence. It should frame you, not overshadow you. And that brings us to another common mistake many women make in the pursuit of comfort: carrying sports-style backpacks in settings that call for refinement. Number 6. Sports backpacks. Convenience has its place, but convenience without refinement can easily chip away at elegance. Sports backpacks, those nylon or mesh styles meant for the gym, hiking, or travel, are incredibly functional, yet they rarely align with a polished, sophisticated wardrobe. According to a 2019 Statista survey, over 60% of women over 50 reported using backpacks at least once a week for errands or casual outings. The problem is not the function itself, but the message it sends. A sleek outfit paired with a gym-style backpack creates visual dissonance. The outfit says, "I am intentional," while the bag says, "I just left spin class." Ask yourself, what does your handbag say about you before you even speak? When you step into a cafe to meet a friend, does that nylon backpack complement your blouse, or does it pull the look into a different direction altogether? Even if no one says it out loud, people subconsciously register the mismatch. Fashion psychologists have long emphasized that coherence in style is a form of nonverbal communication. It signals self-awareness, confidence, and authority. A sporty backpack paired with a tailored coat or dress simply tells two different stories at once. Let me share a moment that illustrates this perfectly. A client of mine, Denise, was in her mid-50s, a successful professional known for her chic wardrobe. One afternoon, she walked into a lunch meeting in a beautifully structured blazer and silk scarf, but on her back was a neon-trimmed backpack she normally used for the gym. The contrast was striking, and not in a flattering way. Instead of noticing her graceful outfit, her colleagues whispered about the bag. Later, she admitted she had chosen it because it was just easier. But as she realized, what seemed easy in the moment cost her presence in the room. The good news? Denise swapped it for a minimalist leather backpack with clean lines, and the difference was immediate. Her style looked cohesive, and she still had the practicality she needed. That's the real solution. Elevate the function without sacrificing refinement. There are plenty of alternatives designed with elegance in mind. Structured totes, sleek crossbody bags, or leather backpacks with smooth finishes and subtle hardware combine practicality with polish. No bright logos, no mesh, no dangling zippers, just quiet sophistication that supports your lifestyle while keeping your look intact. So the next time you reach for that sports backpack, ask yourself, am I carrying something that aligns with my style, or am I letting convenience overshadow my presence? Because your bag should not just hold your belongings, it should hold up your image. And while material and function matter, so does the finish. That's why the next pitfall we need to discuss is shiny, plastic-like handbags that undermine elegance even when everything else is perfectly chosen. Number 7. Shiny plastic-like bags. Few things cheapen an outfit faster than a handbag with that stiff, plastic-like shine. You've seen them, bags that squeak when you touch them, reflect light unnaturally, and feel more like vinyl than leather. At first glance, they might appear trendy, even modern, but once they are in use, the effect is rarely flattering. A study published in the Journal of Fashion Marketing and Management noted that women over 50 overwhelmingly associated glossy synthetic bags with cheap and short-lived, while matte or textured finishes were described as sophisticated and trustworthy. That distinction matters because your handbag doesn't just hold your essentials, it represents the values you want to project. Ask yourself this: when you walk into a restaurant, do you want your bag to gleam under the lights like plastic, or to blend seamlessly into your outfit, suggesting quiet quality? That high-gloss finish often creates the wrong kind of attention. It reflects too much, almost like patent furniture, and instead of enhancing your elegance, it distracts from it. Worse, these bags tend to age poorly. They crack, peel, and lose shape far more quickly than natural or high-quality vegan materials. No matter how careful you are, after a year or two, they rarely look refined. The solution is to choose texture over shine. Soft-grain leather, pebbled finishes, or sturdy vegan alternatives give a bag dimension and depth. These materials don't scream, they whisper. They develop character over time instead of collapsing under it, and you don't need to spend thousands to achieve this. Many mid-range and even affordable brands now prioritize rich, matte finishes that deliver style without shouting artificiality. So take a look at your collection. Do you own a bag that looks more like plastic decor than a refined accessory? If so, it may be time to retire it. Because elegance is not about gleam, it's about glow. And once you embrace that glow, it becomes easier to see why neon-colored handbags, no matter how playful, often sabotage the timeless sophistication women over 50 deserve. Number 8. Neon-colored bags. Color is one of the first things people notice about your handbag, and it sets the tone before you even open your mouth. Neon-colored bags, whether in fluorescent pink, electric green, or highlighter yellow, may look fun on a teenager at a music festival, but for women over 50, they rarely project refinement. In fact, research from the Pantone Color Institute shows that bright neon shades are perceived as youth-driven and trend-based, while muted jewel tones and neutrals are associated with sophistication and lasting appeal. This helps explain why neon handbags almost never read as timeless. They belong to a fleeting trend rather than a lasting legacy. Ask yourself, when you carry a neon handbag, does it harmonize with your outfit, or does it fight for attention? Do people see your face first, or the blinding color on your arm? The problem with neon is not just its loudness, but its lack of versatility. A neon pink bag may work with one outfit in the summer, but can it transition gracefully into autumn or winter? Can it pair with both casual denim and an elegant evening dress? Most often, the answer is no. That limitation makes the bag less useful and, ironically, more likely to end up forgotten in the back of your closet. This doesn't mean you must avoid color altogether. On the contrary, color can be a powerful expression of personal style, but choose shades that enhance rather than compete. Deep burgundy, navy, forest green, camel, or slate blue can all make a strong statement without overwhelming. These tones pair beautifully with most wardrobes and age gracefully alongside you. As designer Carolina Herrera once said, "Elegance is not about being noticed, it's about being remembered." A neon bag may grab attention, but a refined color palette leaves a lasting impression. So as you evaluate your handbags, ask, will this color still look elegant 10 years from now? If the honest answer is no, it's time to reconsider. Because elegance is not about loudness, it's about harmony. And harmony becomes even more critical when we talk about structure. That's why the next mistake to avoid is the slouchy, shapeless handbag that pulls your entire look down. Number 9. Slouchy, unstructured bags. A handbag without structure can quietly undo even the most refined outfit. You might have on a perfectly tailored blazer, well-fitted trousers, and polished shoes, but if your bag collapses in on itself the moment you set it down, it introduces an element of carelessness you never intended. A 2022 consumer survey from Harper's Bazaar found that 68% of women over 50 preferred structured handbags because they believed these bags added confidence and authority to their look. In contrast, soft, slouchy bags were often described as messy or too casual. Those words matter because they shape how others perceive not just your outfit, but you. Think about the impression a shapeless bag gives. Instead of framing your silhouette, it bulges and droops, often adding bulk where you least want it. Instead of complementing your posture, it pulls your shoulder downward. Even the way it rests on a chair or counter tells a story. Does it stand tall beside you, or does it puddle like fabric signaling fatigue? Elegance is about presence, and presence relies on intention. A slouchy bag, by definition, lacks that intention. I remember meeting Margaret, a retired teacher in her early 60s, at an art gallery opening. She wore a sleek black dress, a delicate string of pearls, and had her silver hair styled beautifully. But draped over her shoulder was a faded, shapeless hobo bag that slumped against her hip. The contrast was jarring. Instead of seeing her grace, people's eyes were drawn to the tired bag. Later, she told me she had owned it for more than 15 years and loved how comfortable it was. Comfort is important. Yes, but comfort without elegance can diminish the way you are perceived. Interestingly, a few months later she switched to a medium-sized, structured tote in a soft, neutral leather. The difference was immediate. She looked taller, more poised, and people complimented her overall style instead of questioning her accessory. So ask yourself, does your handbag hold its shape when you set it down? Does it echo the strength and clarity you want to project? Or does it slump into something that feels more careless than effortless? If your bag is sagging, it may be time to retire it. Structured designs don't have to mean stiff or uncomfortable. Look for bags with gentle but defined lines, ones that maintain their form while still moving with you. These designs create visual clarity, and that clarity communicates confidence. Because at the end of the day, you deserve accessories that reflect your elegance, not drag it down. And that same principle applies to novelty pieces as well. Which brings us to the next mistake: themed holiday handbags that feel more like costumes than timeless companions. Number 10. Themed holiday bags. Holiday spirit is wonderful, but when it comes to handbags, themed designs almost always miss the mark. A clutch covered in glittery snowflakes, a pumpkin-printed tote, or a heart-shaped purse might feel charming in the store, yet the moment you carry it, it shifts your entire look from refined to costume-like. Elegance is about timelessness, and a bag tied to one very specific season or occasion has no staying power. A 2020 survey by the NPD Group found that women over 50 used novelty handbags fewer than 3 times a year on average, yet many admitted those pieces still took up space in their closets. That statistic says a lot. Themed bags are rarely versatile, and more often than not, they become wasted investments. Ask yourself, do you want to carry a bag that feels relevant for only 1 week out of the year? And what happens when you use it out of season? Say, a red bag with Christmas trees in March. Instead of looking festive, it looks misplaced, almost juvenile. Style experts often remind us that accessories should extend your wardrobe, not limit it. Themed bags do the opposite. They restrict you to a narrow window of use and pull focus away from your elegance. The solution is to channel that festive energy into details that still feel sophisticated. Rather than a holiday-specific print, choose a handbag in a rich seasonal tone: deep burgundy for winter, forest green for fall, or a metallic clutch for special occasions. These colors nod to the season without locking you into a novelty piece that will sit untouched the rest of the year. Even something as simple as adding a silk scarf in a seasonal pattern can give your bag a touch of personality without sacrificing refinement. So, take a look in your wardrobe. Are there handbags you only ever reach for once or twice around the holidays? If so, ask yourself whether they truly deserve that space, or whether a timeless, seasonless bag could serve you better. Because true elegance isn't about gimmicks, it's about grace that lasts year-round. And speaking of casual choices that often sneak into our daily wardrobes, let's turn to another common misstep: fabric slogan totes that seem convenient but rarely communicate refinement. Number 11. Fabric slogan totes. Fabric totes printed with slogans or quirky phrases might feel fun, practical, even eco-friendly, but as daily handbags, they rarely support an elegant image. You've seen them: lightweight cotton bags with words like "But first, coffee" or "Bonjour Paris" splashed across the front. They work for grocery runs or the beach, but when paired with a polished outfit, they send the wrong message. A 2021 consumer poll by Vogue Business revealed that 69% of women over 50 viewed slogan totes as casual utility, not as a fashion accessory. That perception matters because accessories aren't just about function, they're about communication. Ask yourself, what do people notice first when you walk into a room carrying a slogan tote? Is it your presence, your smile, your outfit, or are they distracted trying to read your bag? When words on fabric become the focus, your own elegance fades into the background. And beyond appearance, these bags often don't age well. The material wrinkles, stains easily, and loses shape quickly, leaving you with something that looks less like a choice and more like an afterthought. That doesn't mean fabric bags have no place in your life. They can be wonderful for errands, books, or markets. But as a handbag that represents you in professional or social settings, they simply fall short. Elegance is about intention, and intention is hard to see in something that looks like a free giveaway. A better alternative is to choose structured designs in natural fabrics or woven materials. A canvas tote with reinforced edges or a woven leather satchel in a neutral tone maintains the earth-friendly spirit without sacrificing refinement. These pieces hold their shape, blend seamlessly with your wardrobe, and speak of quiet confidence rather than novelty. So the next time you reach for that slogan tote, ask yourself, am I carrying an accessory that highlights me or one that steals attention for all the wrong reasons? Your words belong in your voice, not stamped across a flimsy bag. And with that in mind, let's move to the final mistake on our list: fanny packs and belt bags, a trend that resurfaces again and again, but rarely does any favors for women seeking timeless sophistication. Number 12. Fanny packs/belt bags. Few accessories divide opinion as much as the fanny pack, now often rebranded as the belt bag. Marketed as practical, hands-free, and modern, these bags have been pushed back into fashion by influencers and glossy magazines. But let's be clear, practicality does not always equal elegance. For women over 50, the fanny pack tends to break the natural lines of the silhouette, adding bulk where it doesn't belong and pulling focus away from refinement. A 2022 Harper's Bazaar style survey found that only 14% of women over 50 felt confident wearing a belt bag in a professional or social setting. Most admitted they associated it with tourist style or casual errands. Ask yourself, when you strap a bag around your waist or sling it across your chest, what story does it tell? Does it highlight your grace, or does it draw attention to your midsection or bust in ways you never intended? Even high-end versions of the fanny pack rarely escape this problem. They may carry a luxury logo, but their design still feels rooted in utility rather than sophistication. And while utility is valuable, there are other ways to achieve it without compromising style. I once worked with a client named Elaine, a vibrant woman of 59 who traveled often. She loved the freedom of her nylon belt bag and wore it everywhere from airports to casual dinners. But she confessed that whenever she saw herself in photos, she disliked how the bag broke her silhouette. "It makes me look heavier," she admitted, "and it doesn't match my outfits." Together, we replaced it with a slim, crossbody leather bag, structured, compact, but still big enough for her passport, wallet, and phone. The difference was remarkable. She kept her convenience, but her style felt elevated, and she noticed people focused on her presence, not her bag. That's the key. You don't have to sacrifice comfort or functionality. Instead of a belt bag, consider a minimalist crossbody with clean lines or a compact shoulder bag that carries just enough. For evening events, a sleek wristlet can give you the same hands-free freedom without the bulk. These options deliver both ease and elegance, reinforcing the image of a woman who knows exactly who she is. So the next time you're tempted by a fanny pack, pause and ask, do I want to project timeless confidence, or do I want to look like I'm still on my way to a theme park? Your handbag should never lead the way, you should. And now that we've explored all 12 handbag mistakes that can quietly sabotage your elegance, let's bring everything together. In the conclusion, we'll talk about the bigger lessons behind these choices, how they connect to confidence and self-respect, and how you can curate a collection that reflects the woman you are today. Elegance isn't about chasing trends or flaunting price tags. It isn't about proving that you can buy the latest designer piece or filling your closet with more bags than you could ever use. Elegance is, and always has been, about self-respect, authenticity, and intentional choices. The 12 handbag mistakes we've discussed are not about shaming or restricting, they're about awareness. When you know what weakens your presence, you can choose differently, and those choices add up to a style that feels timeless, powerful, and uniquely yours. Take a moment to look at your handbag collection with fresh eyes. Which pieces truly serve you today? Which ones drag you down, distract from your elegance, or no longer align with the woman you've become? Clearing out the clutter, letting go of what's worn, trendy, or inauthentic, creates space for something better. You don't need 20 bags, you need 2 or 3 that are beautifully made, versatile, and proportionate to you. That's all it takes to walk into any room knowing you look pulled together from head to toe. And here's the deeper truth: every handbag you carry is more than an accessory. It's a quiet declaration of who you are. After 50, your bag should not whisper insecurity or scream for attention. It should reflect your calm confidence, your refined taste, and your self-assurance. You no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. You've already earned the right to choose only what uplifts you. So here's my invitation to you. Comment below with the words, "I deserve the best," if you're ready to claim that confidence in your own style. I'd love to know which of these handbag mistakes surprised you the most. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you found value here, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel for more timeless style tips, and stay tuned for our next conversation on how to elevate your wardrobe with grace. Because elegance, my friend, isn't about the bag you carry, it's about the woman you've become.